Hello, everybody. This is Becky again here at Aunt Beck's Creations. And I thought I would do some journals from the papers that I got at the thrift store last night. I have a thrifting video up with Scott and I that we did last night after 9 o'clock. It was kind of an unusual time for us, but he wanted to do a video and I was free. So, yeah. I got graph paper. I got a thrift store, and then I got the mixed media paper on the great big sheets, which this is kind of nasty. I'm going to throw this away real quick. Throw this in the trash. And I also got these huge envelopes. They don't have any stick-em on them or anything, but I thought we could cut these down, and these could be some pages in a journal too. And I already have some covers cut from a previous thrifting alley. So I'll grab some of those real quick. All right, that's all of them right there. All right. So here's the ones. I got these posters. Remember these with the birds on them? And I've got them all folded. They've got a little 1/4-inch spine, but I think they'd make cute journals. I would probably put just one signature in, or maybe I've got giant rubber bands. Maybe just put a rubber band on it and slide the paper in. That would make it fast. Oops, there's one. Let's see if these rubber bands would work. See, I could put, that's perfect size. Let's just do that and put some rubber bands on these, and we'll just make some quick journals. The pink ones kind of match the paper better, don't they? Hi, Candy. Hi, Janet. I didn't know who all would be free to come back on, but I figured, you know, whatever. If you're free, you're free. If not, you can watch it later. And these are just file rubber bands. They probably won't last forever, but, you know, they would. I've got them. We're going to use them. Put it that way. Once I get rubber bands on each of these, I will figure out how big to cut the paper. If my phone rings, you guys, I have to answer it because it could be my mother-in-law who's having a new furnace put in, and change is very hard when you're 94 years old. So and I forgot to share this out. So Janet, if you're sharing it out, thank you. Janet, bless her heart, she's still trying to be a good monitor, and her computer died. So it's do on your phone. I guess I could do some with blue. Let's see, I've got pink. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll do one more with pink, and then I'll maybe do blue or purple. Oh, look, I even have some paper in that one, like I started it and then didn't finish. So these were some kind of Audubon poster in the bins, and I just grabbed them out and cut them up. I mean, the birds aren't centered on these. There, I did have some where the birds ended up centered, but I think I've already given all of those away. So The rubber bands are a little tight. I think I like the purple better than the blue. The blue is just too intense. 1, 2, 3, 4. Might as well use these. I have them. Right? And I put the rest of these back in my drawer down here. That'll use a bunch of those up. Thank you. So now I'm trying to figure out about how many pages in each one. Let's see how much I have in the graph paper. I think they are Georgia O'Keeffe, if I remember right. Some of them, the birds are prettier on the back cover than they are on the front, but some of these rubber bands are a bit more aggressive than others. Hopefully they won't tear through. I thought about trying to laminate these covers. You know, I could still laminate these. It would make them stronger. Hang on. Back up. Back up. I don't know if these will laminate or not. They're all scored and everything. I'm just afraid these rubber bands are so aggressive that they might tear them. And if I laminate them, y'all can sit and watch me laminate. Hi again, Mary. Are you following me? No. I'm having one of those where my thought process is slower than my action. I need to slow down. And I'm trying to recycle these posters I got out of the bins a couple of years ago. That one still has a Goodwill sticker on the inside where they had been in the store and nobody wanted them. And then I took pity on them and pulled them out of the bins. The bins just aren't any fun anymore the way they do. They put all that stuff in those big boxes, so you can't even look at it. Very disappointing. All right, I'm going to keep these. We're going to use those. And I'm going to move all this paper that I got thrifting last night back over here. The birds are happy that I have filled the feeders. Laminator. Locate the laminator. There it is. Sometimes I wish all my stuff could talk back to me. Well, no, maybe not. But you know what I mean. Where did I put you? You put me in a box, Becky. I'm stuck in here and I can't get out. All right, let me plug this in. Get in hot. And while it's getting hot, whew, Howard, I'm going to have to move you to your chair, buddy. You took my chair, man. It's just not fair the way you take my chair. Laminating pouches. 9 by 11 and a half. I'm going to bring your chair over so you can sit by me. But I need to sit down, buddy. Don't fuss. I'm just going to move you over a little bit. Come here. Oh, stop. There you go. All right. When the green light comes on, I guess it helps if you turn the bad boy on. Some of these don't look too great on the inside, but it's for art. And they're just covers. So, come on, open up. All right. And I think they'll fit in a pocket. Oh, yeah. So I'll just get these here. I think I need to turn this so that the cord isn't in the way when they come out. And I'll change my mind and put these over here. Try to get them in order. Another journal. Yep. But these I'm going to give away. It's all thrifted material. I think even the laminating, no, these came from Aldi's. I do have some laminating pouches that came from the Goodwill. I'm just hoping that I can get them to fold on the score lines once I get them laminated. The only way to find out is to do it. So I'm going to do all of them and hope I can make them fold. Oh, dirty from painting on that. Those. I'm going to have to do a lot of touch up where the white of the canvas is still exposed. Sometimes getting the pouches open is half the battle because it looks like there's only one piece there and there's not. It's folded in half. Oh, and you know what? These are signed Caldwell something. If I've come across one that has the whole signature, I'll tell you who did these posters. I probably should try this on one, but hey, in for a pound. Caldwell, Pamela Brothers. I don't know. They were too pretty to be headed for the dumpster. So that's why Becky ended up with them. And I was like, what am I going to do with all of these? And finally, one day I said, ooh, I'm going to make journals out of them and give them away. And they look kind of dirty on the back side, but it's going to be laminated. You're not going to have to touch any of it. And it's going to be put through this hot thing. I will have to let this thing rest before I get this many done, I'm sure. It's ready for me to put one in, but I'm still in the way on the other side. And I can trim some of this away. You still have to leave a little bit of an edge when you laminate. You have to leave a little edge, so it's laminated to something. Like I said, getting it open is half the battle. I think some of the goop you're seeing on the back sides of these is where the Goodwill had their price labels on it. I was going to say, is it laminating it or is it eating it? One time it just went around inside, which was not good. Oh, one left. Timing. You had a busy day yesterday, didn't you? See, I like to do things like this and have them all made. And then I do a giveaway and then I put them right in the mail and they go. If it's not completely made, I don't give it away. Because I don't want to have a bunch of stuff laying around. I think this is going to work. I'm gonna let it cool before I try to fold it on the folds, but I think it's gonna work. Once they're out, I'll trim them. Oh, that one's done. Let's get it in here. It should be good and hot. Yep, we did a thrift haul, and I don't know whether to tell you or not, but maybe I'll make you wait until the video. But we were highly successful on several fronts, put it that way. So I can't wait to get started on that project for myself. Gina just put up her week in review video. Tell me. Well, you know those floral prints that I only needed one of? I don't need one anymore. So I can do my gallery wall. And somebody was asking what a gallery wall is. Well, it's just like when you go to a museum, they have a gallery of pictures, and I'm going to do just a wall of those pictures. Did it not seal? Ow, it's hot. I think it sealed it okay. Are we still green? We're still green. It's got a hold of it. There we go. I couldn't believe it when I found the picture. And now I've got to take and open them all up and clean the glass on both sides and clean the frame and put them back together and take the measurements down so that I can play with the layout as to where things are going to go, because you know they're all different sizes. So I'll have a floral wall. I could almost do it in the hallway. See, I didn't get this far enough over that way, so it's pinching on this side. You got to be careful and make sure these things are centered. I think it'll still be all right, but it's folding the laminating sheet. You don't really want that. You want it to be smooth. I'll have to be more careful on the next one. I think that one's almost clear. It's still moving, so not quite. There. Now, let's see. Let's get it as far over that way as I can get it without pinching it. There we go. Let's go back to the first one. It's probably cooled off. And see. Oh, look, it's going to fold right on those. Awesome. Oh, so cool. And I'll trim so that it has just as much on that is exposed here. I'll do that on all the sides, and I'll round the corners. Oh, that's much better. And then the journal won't tear from the rubber bands. And if you got one of these, if you win one of these, what you could also do is take the rubber band off and just punch around the whole edge if you wanted to, and do a blanket stitch with yarn if you want to give it a different look. That's just an idea. So that's cool. So these need to be trimmed next. Oh, that one's not quite done. It'll stop moving when it's done. Yeah, Mary, I saw them in the bins. And, you know, if they don't sell when they're in the bins, they just go to the trash. And it was paper, so it didn't weigh that much. So I just took them all. Trying to make sure this is centered and even in there. Oh, this is going to work perfect. And I had all the supplies. Doesn't that just make it better? Hi, Debbie. How many people do I have here? Just 10 people. Wonder how many of these I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I have 10. I might have to just quickly grab y'all's names and send them to you 10 that are watching now, that are here now. I could do that. Oh, somebody left. Somebody didn't want one. So, no. I could do that. So if you're here, say here. Uh-oh. I've been stamping on this. Because I see Mary and Debbie VIGNOLA and Nettie and Anne and Candy was here. Karen Merritt. Who else is here? That's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 4 more people in here. Joyce Boring. Joyce. Joyce is here. Where the book ends is where the book ends. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to look and see live chat. I'm going to see who the participants are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That 10th person is me. So I'll keep one for myself. And then I'll write me on here. And then I have a +1. So if somebody else comes in and says hi, I will have another Framus. It's Suze. I should know that. I'm a duh. Suze Garrison. You just walked in, Suze, in time. So another one in. Oh, I got to get up so I make sure I don't get any more pinches. I like to do it. I like to give stuff away. Scott says as long as it makes me happy, he doesn't care what I do. So y'all will have to let me know if somebody new comes in because I have one more that I can give away. And for the replayers, sorry you weren't here. I am enjoying doing some lives this week and kind of boosting my channel back up. I've neglected it so badly. But, you know, while we were working on that roof, it's not like I can do anything else except watch him. I think it's my nervous energy keeps him on the roof. He said he popped in here yesterday when I was live. Janet Baum. I didn't. Thank you. Janet gets one. I forgot Janet. How could I be so silly? All right, that's the 10. They're all given away. Ta-da. And we'll do it again another time. The shed roof is done, Suze. He doesn't have to go back up on the roof. That's my biggest thing. So that's done. Now we've got to put new windows and doors. Oh, Nettie, you didn't have to do that, but thank you. Windows and doors, I think, have to be framed in next. And then we've got to put new siding. No, I should get a spanking for forgetting Janet. I can't believe that. She's been here the whole time. I knew I was forgetting somebody. This is exciting, isn't it? Oh, Mary, you didn't have to do that. I'll type in my email address and you can email me, Karen. Make sure I'm giving you the right one. I think I gave the eye doctor the wrong email address, is why I had so much trouble. All right. See if I can get this in here straight. Oh, goodness. Hi, Howie. Oh. He's like, don't pet me. I'm sleeping. So that was fun. We've got 2 more to laminate, and then we will trim and put the rubber bands on. And then I got to cut that paper to fit these. And it's going to be a mixture of whatever paper I have. I'm not going to label the papers or anything because that would take forever. But let's see. There's the graph paper. There's a sketch pad. There'll be some manila envelope pages because that's the only thing I can think to do with those great big envelopes because they're huge. They're 18 by 23 sized envelopes. I guess they're for mailing large prints, or Scott said large format things. Okay, we need to turn this off and just let it rest. It quit. It says it's tired. So we're going to let that one, we're going to let it cool. We only have to put 2 more through. But while this bad boy cools a bit, these. I saw you open the pumpkin card. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I don't know if this will fit inside this trimmer or not. Let's see. Why is this acting so weird? There we go. So it needs a little, let's see. If I line this up with the edge of that should probably leave enough of an edge. Yeah. I'm kind of laying the edge of the book along the edge of the white part on this side and then just trimming away. And then I need a corner rounder, which is in the bottom shelf, not shelf, drawer. And I want the one that makes a nice round, not that pointy corner thing. And then I'm just going to pop these. And Kathy, you just missed the giveaway. I gave away 10 of them. And there was only 10 people in here, so I gave them away to everybody that was here. So maybe when I do it next time, you'll win one. But these were posters that I got at the Goodwill one year. See, that's so much better. That'll be so much better with the lamination on there. And if you want to switch these rubber bands out for something more stable, feel free. But I had these on hand, so I said, that's what we're going to use. So there's one. I have to add the paper to it. She says, well, darn. Did I round the corners on that? I did. I did it so fast, I blew myself away. I didn't realize I'd done it. That's pretty bad. Howard's like, you can miss the trash with some of those pieces, Mama. I like to play with those. And he is such a huge goofball. It's so funny to watch him playing. So if you see papers when you're thrifting, you could pick them up and make journals out of them and give them away to somebody else. You will have had the fun of finding them thrifting and then creating them and then making somebody else happy. That's why I like to do that kind of stuff. Spread the joy. I had fun finding it at the thrift store. And then somebody else can have fun filling it up. Some of these are, maybe if I stretch them a little bit, they'll behave better. Oh, come on. Get in the middle. It doesn't want to get in the middle. It says, but I don't want to. Scott and I have been fighting seasonal allergies, something fierce. Some will have a purple rubber band and some will have pink. So what's everybody else up to today besides watching me? Dee Dee was asking how many people were participating in NaNoJomo with Pack or Die. And I kept saying me, and she kept saying, oh, Nettie says pass hers on to Kathy. Okay. And then she'd ask again, and I say, I am. And then I said, here's my Instagram if you want to see what I'm doing for NaNoJomo. Then she asked again, and I was like, ugh, she's not seeing me. I must be invisible to Dee Dee. Actually, I think she was busy trying to find links and all that kind of stuff. All right, Debbie, what is that? A herb suitcase box. That sounds interesting. Cheryl says she's just relaxing. I'm going to stretch this out some. Boop, 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 boop. Nettie and I swap back and forth all the time. She's sneaky and sends me something, then I'm sneaky and send something back to her. So she wants to, so I'll send it to you, Kathy. I was thinking Barbara Clark would come on in this morning. She likes to find people live when she gets up in the morning, I noticed. And I'm liking having this. I think the laminator's almost ready to start back up, but I'll finish these before I turn him back on. I'd like to get started on that sweater, and I need to finish the purple hat to match the cape, and I need to surprise my sister with that. I need to try to catch up with her sometime. She lives on the other side of town from me. She's only 30 minutes away, but can we get together? No. And then I have another sister that teaches at the university, and she's even closer to me. She's only like a 10-minute drive from the house, and we never get together. We got to do something about that. We need to get together. I ought to ask her if she's available to do lunch sometime in this 2 weeks. She's a runner, though. She got top in her all over women in the last race, and I can't remember how far it was, but it was like less than an hour to run the distance. But she's like 5'10" and got legs that go on forever. So her running distance it would take me twice as long because my legs are like 10 inches shorter than hers. All right. And Debbie says, I'll be putting up a video in a few days so you can see what I'm talking about. for her herb suitcases. That sounds so interesting. I need to double check that, Debbie, because I'm not sure I'm still subbed to you. I don't like when I find somebody pops back in and I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't heard anything from them in a long time. Oh, and I was so tickled to see Mark Muir in Mary's this morning. That was so nice to see him. And then yesterday, Barb Owen popped in on me, and that it was so lovely to see her again. And then Azure popped in. So we've had a lot of people. It's like we put it out to the universe that we were worried and wondering what was going on with them, and bam, there they are. So who can we mention that we haven't heard from in a while to make them pop in? Who can we think? Throw out some names of some folks you haven't heard from in a while. Maybe we can get them back going on YouTube. Yes, Mary, he was in there. He said he'd been MIA because of life and stuff. And I said, darn, life and jobs and all that gets in the way of our playtime, doesn't it? Yeah, Mary, you need to go review your chat. There was a lot of people popping in. I noticed you saw Azure, and wasn't it funny how she popped in after we were just wondering about her during craft and chat and wondering if she was okay and everything. And then there she is. She showed up. That was so nice to see her again. Yes, Petals and Dreams. If you're out there, pop in on Mary or I, or both of us. I know. It was so lovely to see Azure. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, Mary, look up, look up, look up. Azure's here. I'm trying to think of who else. It's been a while. Lucia. Yeah, she's not doing videos as often because she's been involved with that beautiful new garden and garden shed and everything. I'm toying with the idea of doing I follow a homesteader that she moved from Arkansas to South Carolina. She now lives like 30 or 40 minutes from me. But she had these raised beds that come kind of like a kit, and they have metal sides. I think it's metal. And then they have reinforcement bars. And depending on the size you want, you can build it to be a long, narrow bed or a shorter, wider bed. Because of my back, I would want a longer, thin one. So I was going to look into seeing how much a couple of those would cost. Because I don't want to do anything in the ground because we've got a wisteria problem I just don't know what to do. It's not even in my yard. It's not my plant. It's come over from the neighbors, and we knock it back and then it comes back, and you just can't control it. It takes over. It grows underground. It's not a point of keeping it trimmed because it shoots out these roots that just take over. It's beautiful in somebody else's yard, not mine. I like rounding the corners on journals. All right, I'll do a purple one. We're almost to a point where I need to start the laminator back up. Start that up and let it get warm again. We're not making fun of you or anything. We're trying to help you. We were all saying, no, the other end, the part where the staples actually come out, where they go down and out the hole. That's what I was pointing at the screen, and I was like, it's in this part where see where the staples go? The point that points down, that's where they go. But I know when you start getting frustrated, it's so hard to get your mind to let go of your frustration. I do that too. And it's so easy when you're trying to learn something new. And it seems like the stupid thing's against you. That's how I feel about my serger. I keep saying, no, you need to learn how to use it. And then the next, I'm so sick of ruining things. I'm going to get rid of it. And then I'll go back to, I really need to know how to use that. It costs too much money just to get rid of. But I'm telling you, the frustration level with it. When it grabs something and cuts a great big hole in it after you've worked an hour, yeah. Yeah, I thought Jersey was going to come back after the summer. You have a corner punch I need lessons on. You have to get it dead in the corner. I mean, the pointy part has to go square in the center of where you're going to be chopping off. All right. Is this thing died or something? It's humming. We just need it to do 2 more, and then I can unplug it. Oh, it's ready for it. Let's put 2 more through here. It is a weird one. I have some weird ones that I use for tag making because they make a funny shape, but you got to get it angled so the same amount of paper is on each side. Let's move this so that can flow freely. Hi, Cole. You being a jerk? You're not even going to say hi, just walking through. Okay. I just think this has turned out so good. It makes me want to go look for more great big posters that somebody's getting rid of that you can chop up and have a kind of decorated cover. There's a little chickadee or nuthatch. I think that's a chickadee. That's a yellow cardinal, probably a female cardinal. And then it had these magnolia flowers, tulip magnolias. Well, you'll have to show us, Mary. I'm sure Mina and I or Renee can help you figure it out. We were all trying this morning. Or no, it was Mitzi. Mitzi was like, you're putting it in the wrong end. I could see what she was saying. Oh, I didn't know they had a contest going. That's interesting. As soon as this gets through, we'll trim them and I'll start figuring out how big the paper. Of course, I've got some paper there that was inside. I've got other paper that I've thrifted that I could add into this too. So it would just be a variety of paper. You know what I like to have occasionally is the just regular notebook paper too, but the lines would be going the wrong way in the journal. I've got some of that was thrifted too. I could add some of that. You just have to write sideways. Okay. Let's see if I can move this without burning myself. Sometimes it gets pretty hot. Oh, we got a milk plastic, Becky. Oh, goodness. I think Greg's getting up and moving around. It's kind of hard when Greg's still home and Scott's at work. Let's see here. We'll set this down here so it can cool. And I think I'll mention it now. Tomorrow is Thursday. Anne, you're doing your room, right? So Anne has a craft and chat. Starts in the morning, 10ish. And we just have a lot of fun. It's usually 5 or 6 of us, but more welcome. There is an option on there that if you're afraid of interrupting anybody, you can raise your hand. I've never tried to use it. Has anybody done the raise your hand thing? We kind of just get in there and just do friendly banter all morning. So, or sometimes all day, but yeah. And don't be afraid of coming and going because it's a room. You pretend it has a door and you can come and go as you please because we just welcome you in. You know, if we see you there, we say hello. And if you don't want to talk, you just say, I'm here to lurk or something. And we're all fine with that. Oh, cool. And yes, Anne is having her room in the morning. I've been talking too much. There is a definite brush. Yes, last night when I was trying to brush my teeth with that thing, I gave myself a facial because I got it out of my mouth too far and I had toothpaste spray all over my face. I tell you what, your teeth do feel like you just left the dentist office. So nice and clean. I'm glad I bought it. I thought it was kind of expensive and you can get them cheaper than from your dentist, but I'm sure my dentist, needed a cut. So I'm glad I bought it, even though I probably paid more than I should. But from buying it from them, I had a doctor's receipt for my our medical savings account that we put money into, pre-tax dollars. If you have that at your job, always sign up for it and put money there because, if you get sick, there's money in there to do your copay with. We thoroughly embrace that. And Scott's been putting as much as he could into that. So we'll probably even still have a balance when he retires to protect us for some of the medical that'll probably pop up. I think he's looking at having his knees done. His knees are bad. What kind did I get, Janet? It's a Philips Sonic 4700 electric toothbrush, and I got mine as pink. I figured if Scott got one, he could get the blue or the white, and then that way we could know whose toothbrush is whose. And I'm doing better about flossing because she said you don't want any. The flossing removes the bacteria that creates the tartar. So, and Anne has a water pick toothbrush. I think that's what my mother-in-law has too. She still has all her teeth at 94. All right. So there's the journals. That was quick and easy. Now, the papers can be smaller, but it will hold. We're going to say 8 inches tall. and then double this. So I'm going to measure from that fold to the outer edge. So I'd say 10, because when you fold it in half, that'll be 5. So the pages will be 8 by 5 inches tall or smaller, depending on whatever paper we have. All right, so let's get cutting. And we have 10 of these. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Cool. So I'm going to trim the regular notebook paper just down to 8 inches. And you can do several sheets at once of this thinner paper. Maybe we'll just leave it like that. And then this will be too long, so it'll be trimmed. So I know on these, all I have to do is trim these to the 10 inches. And you see what I mean about the lines are going to go basically in the wrong direction for writing. But you can turn it sideways or just paint over it or whatever you decide to do with it. I'm just going to trim a bunch of this down. That's not right. I figure I'll trim from the top of the page. Good morning, Michelle Noel. All right. So if I do 2 sheets of every kind of paper I have, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be 2 sheets times 5 is 10, Becky. I can always put more of the lined paper or whatever. Just fold this. We'll just fold 20 of these. That's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. I know this isn't much fun, but hey, this is how you make a journal. 12. 13. 14, 15, 16, 17, 8. I can't believe that. I had exactly 20 trimmed down to size. So there we go. There's 20 sheets of this. So each journal will get 2 sheets of this type of paper. So I'm just going to make stacks of the different types of paper and then put them in piles in front of me and just go boom, 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 back and forth and build the book and then slide it in and it'll be done. Like so. I'll put that little paper there. Now I need to trim you some graph paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now slide this in next to the notebook paper for the next time we make journals. Down here. And again, I'm going to trim this to 10 inches. So it'll be the same size as the notebook paper. And I got quite a stack of paper here, so we'll see if this is going to do. And does this come out at the 8 inches? It does. So put these over here. Put these over here. What are we looking for? I missed something. 20. I know, I'm throwing those strips away. Sorry, they're going in the trash. I didn't pay hardly anything for this paper because it was in the bins. It was laying in one of the blue bins. It hadn't been thrown into the box yet, so I just scooped it up and took it with my pile to the register, and she said $3. I was like, okay. Did I have $3 in my pocket? No, so I paid with a debit card. They have to pay the fee for that. Elaine Ingram. These I don't have to count. I just have to fold because I've already counted them. Birds are happy that I put fresh seed out there. My stomach's starting to growl. But I wanted people to see how to make a journal using just what you have. And, you know, depending on the type of paper, you'll get used to what you can use water on. Like I wouldn't use water on graph paper, but you could draw a diagram or a cross-stitch pattern or a quilt block, or graph paper is just fun to have in a journal because, you know, you can inspire a whole new pattern that you could use in your art. Or if you were like Mary and could do cross-stitch design, you know, if you pixelate anything, you can turn it into something you could make. So like if you turned your picture of your cat into a pixelated form, I don't see why you couldn't make it into a chart to cross stitch or embroider. So Mary is looking for Elaine Ingram. Dee Dee might know Mary. But if I see her anywhere and recognize her name, I'll tell her you're looking for her. I think people don't understand that YouTube really is a community. It's an online community. And when somebody goes missing, people worry. So if you thinking nobody'd miss you, you'd be wrong, because there are people missing you every day that you aren't around. So we do miss you when you're not there. So many people, have felt isolated, but you know what? I think when we started the craft and chat rooms, I think that did a lot of good for all of us that participate in it. And I would really welcome anybody that's been feeling lonely or whatever. Come on into Ann or my room. I do a room in Phibbsville on Fridays on Facebook. I know some people don't do Facebook, but that room is just something to look forward to. In fact, Scott misses it when Ann was not on. He was like, I miss Ann. He said, where's all your little friends? I said, well, Ann is at Disney with her grandsons. And he was like, no, Ann. He loves to listen to our banter. And he knows it makes me happy. It gives me something to look forward to each week. I
like to hear it too.
Oh, and Greg says he likes to hear us banter. There's Violet. Hey, Violet. She says that Elaine is a member of Phibbsville. All right. So there's our 20 pages of that kind of paper. Now let's see what else we've got here. Let's do this sketch pad that I got out of the bins. And we're just going to dismantle it and cut this up. And this time we will have to trim to the, what did I say? I just wrote it down here. 8 by 10. I'll keep the cardboard for box making, because I love to make boxes with this nice heavy cardboard. And I have a video somewhere on my channel of how to make a box. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. And I have a little bit of that left that we could do more journals another day. So, and I'll stick that in here with the other papers, so they'll all be together. So I'm going to have to trim some in both directions, I think, this time, because I think these are bigger than the 8 inches wide. Yeah, 8 inches. All right. Let's do 4 sheets at a time. Save us time. Violet's cutting her papers to fit a journal. Cool. And so you could save this and make a little one of those flip books like Mary did. If you wanted to. I'm just going to set those over there, I say, as it floats back toward me.
What's the thing that looks like a drawer in the kitchen.
It's a drawer. I got thrifting. I thought I'd put paint brushes in it. It pulls out.
Okay, I just didn't know what it was. I was just curious.
You weren't here when we did our haul, Greg. You were still at work. I found the last picture I needed for my gallery collection of those floral prints. Huh? I'm not hanging them yet. I got to clean all those things. I want to clean the glass so people can see the pictures nice and clean. Because, I mean, those prints came from all over South and North Carolina, from all different Goodwills. It's taken me 2 years to find them all. But I got every month now. "29 degrees. No thanks." It was chilly here this morning, but it wasn't no 29 degrees. Thankfully. Greg says he's ready for cold weather. He would like to move north. We want to move a little north. We don't want to move north, where it's below zero, like minus 32 and stuff. No. All right, now we got to fold papers. I'm going to keep these like this size. But the narrower strips, I don't think I'm going to keep those. Because I think that could make a cute border journal. Just hook them together there and make border journal. Of course, these could make a border journal too. They'd be borders already. Well, okay, I'm holding on to those. I'm going to be like Mary and holding on to everything. Jeez. Oh, can you guys hear my stomach? I'm serious. It's just going to town. Yeah, we were in the hills in Greenville. We're in where we are here in Columbia is the Sand Hills area, but Scott calls it Satan's Crotch. It's the hottest, muggiest part of South Carolina.
I am off to get to my Subway.
Okay.
And I might pet Howard.
Oh, he's like, no, don't pet me, Greg. Leave me alone. I'm sleeping good here with Mom. Oh, he's sniffing the air. Like, that's not Daddy, that's Greg. Oh, is he going to kill me? Oh, no.
Kelly's like, yeah.
Oh,
You're tolerable.
Mary's got a conundrum. There's 2 profile pics on Facebook with Elaine's pictures. That means somebody's using her image. You might want to look and see if one has pictures and stuff and posts, and then one that looks like Elaine, because the ones that use just your picture, they won't have anything on the page. That has been my experience, because they don't copy everything. They copy just your image. And my mother-in-law was getting messages on Facebook because her picture showed that she's an elderly lady. So what we did is we just changed her image to her stained glass that's in her den. I said, we'll just make it so there's no picture of you on your profile picture. It'll just be a picture of your stained glass in the den. So that way you won't get crazy messages coming through again. Well, you shouldn't have to open a new account if you forget your password. Just say, I forgot my password, and they'll send a question to your email, because you have secondary emails where they can. That's why I all that up in case you do forget your password. Violet has sent you a message, Mary. And so this is sketch paper. So we've got lined paper, graph paper, sketch paper, and then the other pad I got is mixed media paper. And then I got those huge manila envelopes that I'm sitting here trying to figure out how I'm going to cut those to size. I might have to get close with a pair of scissors and then trim from there. But I thought that could be some fun paper to play with. And I didn't see anybody else interested in those. Oh, no, Michelle. That's bad. That's bad when Grandma even forgets her email password. I don't think my mother-in-law's gotten on her. Hi, how are you? Devin Rex for art. I was watching you the other day. What were you doing? I can't remember. I watch too much YouTube, I think. I am just putting together some journals from thrifted papers that I got at Goodwill. All right, so that's the sketch paper. I'll do the manila envelopes last. But then I've got the huge mixed media paper like Mary does that I've got to figure out how I'm going to do it too. It is, I took and threw the cover away already. Let's see. I wonder if I could just. I'm fighting with the because I want the cardboard. Give me your cardboard. Cardboard. Because I can reuse it. Now between me and the chair, who's going to win here? Big piece of cardboard. I could make a lot of boxes of this. Actually, I could probably make 2 really. If I was being a little less aggressive with it. But I'm in a hurry. I want it to just let go of the cardboard. Ah, got it. Now how do I use it? Because it's huge. I'll put it over here for right now. So we need this down 9 by 10. This is some tough paper, y'all. I know it's perforated, but she found you. Yay! Now Beth was looking for someone last week, I think it was. I hope she found the person. Because the person she was looking for had shown up in my live, and I said, Beth's looking for you. I think she won something from Beth. That ring is shot now. Becky's too aggressive. See? I know. Mary's saying you could save it and use it a different way. It'll stay in the trash. I'll use it that way. All right. what I'm going to do is if I fold this in half, what does that give me? Halvesies. This paper is just too big for words. I mean, seriously. I can hardly get it on the table. Okay. That's 9 inches. So if I go ahead and trim it and fold it in half, trim it at 10 inches, and then trim off an inch from the folded edge, I'll have my pieces. That's what I'm going to do. It'd be cool to do ripped edges on some of it, but hey, I've got the paper trimmer. We're going to do that instead. And I'll cut 2 pieces at a time. And I'm thinking I'll be able to get 4 pages out of each sheet. So I technically only need 5 of the big sheets. Because there's that. And then see, that leaves that much. And I'll take the time later to, well, I can do that with this. Just cut this off. And I can make another little journal this way. All right, then I can put these 2 together, fold in the same direction. All right, I should be able to get all 4 pages. And there's my pieces. That's 4. And we need 20. I'll have to keep shifting things around simply because of the size of this monstrous paper. So even if you find big paper and you can't think of a way to use it, you can always cut it down. And if you're getting a huge pad, that was Canson mixed media paper. And I got it at the bins. My total purchase at the bins was $3. And I got like 3 different types of paper and some yarn there and a doily for $3. You can't beat that. I think what I'm going to do is I need 5 sheets. So that's the second sheet, third sheet. And I'll just fold all these at once. And that way I don't have to do so much back and forth on you guys with the cutter. Because I know listening to that cutter go blankety blank is not pleasant. It annoys me. And I'm here with it. So I annoy myself with it. Put it that way. There's 3. All About Recipes just sent me a recall alert for bagged garden salad for a possible listeria contamination. I can't say contamination today. Contamination. So I've always wondered about the bagged salads, if they would be safe, you know, because you're adding water to something, and if somebody doesn't wash their hands or something's on the ground that contaminates it, you just don't know. So that's our 4th one. We need 1 more sheet. I still have quite a bit of this paper, so probably should have left it on the pad and just pulled 5 sheets off, but it's dismantled now, so I can use it any size I want. Mary and I can do a big prompt game on a huge piece of paper now, because I have a huge piece of paper too. This would make a lot of postcards. I could do Christmas postcards. We could do 1 we could do 1 or 2 prompt sessions, and I'd have enough postcards for everybody in my family and friends that I'm going to send cards to. Although I do kind of like doing the just us type Christmas cards like I did last year with the gnomes. I keep sketching things, but nothing's catching yet. We buy bagged salad, and I always worry about it. I'll just put this on my card. And Mary and I will have to get together and come up with some project to use huge paper. I'm wondering if I can cut. Certainly, I can cut 2 at a time and finish this up real quick. Let's get my cutter back over here. Yeah, it's already noon. No wonder my tummy's growling. It's going. You barely fed me anything for breakfast, and now you're making me wait. No. All right, so there's the 10-inch cut. Maybe, yeah. Slide this through. The important thing is to keep them all together. And there's that, and then I'll trim this. I can make a little journal. Oh, that didn't cut all the way out of this here. All right. Which end is folded? Right there. And this has to be cut at the 8 inches. All right, so there's some more. Greg and I have been watching the original Star Trek Enterprise with Picard and them. We've been watching those together before he goes to work. It's kind of neat having time just with my kiddo. All right. All of these have to be folded. I wonder if I can do the same thing with the those big manila things, big manila envelopes. Uh-oh, I'm holding it down. That's the problem. Durr, Becky, durr. Slide this in there. This would almost make a little 4x4 journal. That could be cute. I'll do a little art journal with that one. All right, now we got to cut these, cut the folds off at 8 inches. And then we can put these books together once I get the manila ones. The manila folders, not manila, they're, well, maybe they are. They're not like hard like file folders. They're envelopes, manila envelopes, not folders. Although I do have folders. I could chop some of those up too, but I think we'll have plenty of paper. Let's fold these real quick. I'm sorry this is taking so long, but this is what reality is when you're making these. And this is denser paper. Because it's mixed media. So you got mixed media, sketch, graph, and lined, and then the manila pages. I think this will be a good sized little journal by the time we get everything added in. If you had all your papers prepped ahead of time, I mean, I'm just doing this today because I just bought all of this paper and I want to try to use it as quickly as I bring it in the house and pass on the love, share the love. So Debbie, was it you who was asking about how to use the sewing patterns as a cover for journals? If that was you, Debbie, or somebody else, I would just say you could just get you a base paper and just tear apart the patterns as your background, and then maybe use the images on the front of the pattern envelope. You could fussy cut them and put them on the front of your journal. And then you could just add whatever papers you want on the inside of a journal. Whether you got I could add painty papers to these journals too. I have some painty papers. I don't know how many I have in full sheets. I might have to add just like maybe one painty paper to each journal. I could do that until I get time to make some more painty papers. We need to do a jelly. Maybe that's what I'll do during craft and chat tomorrow in Ann's, is just jelly plate with all those browns I have they've kind of just gone off and either separated or gotten those boogery things in them that I call them boogers. They're just nasty clots of paint. It's just gross. I need to just use those up, because if I do brown backgrounds, then I could come back and maybe stencil in greens and different colors on top. Because to me, brown is a neutral, just like black and white. Okay, good. I'm glad somebody's helping her with that. I hate paint boogers too, especially if it falls out on your gel plate, but I can scoop it up off from there and before I start rolling. What really aggravates me is if a clot breaks up in little pieces and then it's just all over your gel plate and it creates bumpy holes and stuff on your brayer, in your prints, because it's stuck on your brayer. All right. So that should be 20 pages. Let me make sure I counted that right. It looks right. Yeah. Yeah, that's 20. All right. Now the real toughy bit is these gymongous envelopes that I got. So again, I think I can fold this in half. So I need 5 of these envelopes. Fold it in half. And what I might do is put it in the trimmer and cut off this bottom tab. And then cut 10 and 10 and then trim off at the fold at 8. I'm going to do a practice run, and if it works, I'll get 5 more envelopes out. I think there's like 25 envelopes in that box that I got, I think for $3.94. Ow, I pinched my own finger. Oh, I didn't cut through. Hang on. Of course, it's going to be off now. Let's see. There we go. All right. So now, if I cut this at 10 inches. Hopefully I'm not getting this all crooked. Come on, get in there. Let's see. Cut this at 10. 10 inches. Cut this at 10 inches. Then I have these weird bits. Well, I could probably do something with that. I'll hold on to that. Then I'll turn it so the fold is over here and trim it. Oh, wait, though. I got folds everywhere because this is an envelope. So I'm going to trim off just a little bit on this side to cut that fold off. Just as long as I end up with 8-inch pages. And then this at 8. Let's see what it looks like. I think that'll work. Yeah, see? Oh, that's not bad. Okay, cool. I'm going to look up how much it would cost to mail one of those envelopes. Not that I'm going to mail one out. I'm just curious as to what the postage would be on a 23 by something envelope. Interesting. That worked all right. So we need 4 more envelopes to get a total of 20 pages. Right? Well, wait a minute. No, because, oh, Becky. Because you're getting 2 layers out, you're not going to need that many envelopes. Because there's 4 there. I get 8 out of each envelope. 8. Almost messed up. All right, so I need to trim this off a little bit on this side. Just enough to take the outer fold off. And then trim this at 8 inches. I have to talk it out loud. Sorry. Because it makes more sense when I say it out loud. So that gives me 8, and 8 is 16. I'm going to have extra ones. So I'll use 2 more envelopes, and I'll just save the extra pieces. So this should be 8 total, right? Oh, I didn't fold that worth beans. Let's try again. I must have cut that one crooked. Somebody's going to get one with an interesting page in it. Sorry about that. Maybe that envelope was just weird shape. I'm losing track. Hi, Carol. She says she's watching quietly in the corner. Like a mouse? 8. Becky's just trying to figure things out here. All right, so yeah, if I do that on 2 more envelopes, I still have a big old box full of envelopes. So there's one big old envelope. And there's a big old envelope. I can really only manage one of these at a time because they're huge. All right. Let's see here. Maybe. No? She's not way up top out there, is she? She's right there. She's looking right at me. Greg looking for one of his cats. I'm still hinting about a house of his own. Hint, 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 hint. I do love him, but we're ready. We're ready to be old farts on our own, playing hooky. All right, so there's that. Then we got to do 10 and 10 and then 8 and 8. But we got to remember we have to trim off. We have to trim off both edges because we've got so much paper here. And 10. See, that's where I'm messing up, I think. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So we'll trim a little off this side. Like so. And then we'll trim this at 8. All right. So let's trim the middle off where that adhesive is first. That seems to work the best. And then I'll trim the outer edges off here of the envelope. So that should be 16. So basically I need half of an envelope. I'm going to fold this real quick. Hi, Tamari. If y'all aren't subscribed to Carol's channel, you should be. I'm going to leave that on there because it's pretty stuck. And follow her on Instagram too. I think that's where I'm seeing your stitching, Carol. You've been posting on Instagram, haven't you? What's really funny about the whole schedule we got going this 2 weeks is Greg leaves, and then in a couple hours, Scott's home. Greg sleeps all morning because he gets home really late from work. And Scott goes out before it's even daylight because he has to be to work at 7 o'clock the next week and a half. He's got only a half a week plus one more. So hoping today is going so much better than yesterday and that his trainee comes back on time from lunch, not 20 minutes later. That kind of behavior gets you uninvited from continuing employment there because they hire through a temp agency. And if you don't work out, you are not asked to stay. So you got to prove you want the job by, being present and there. It just appalls Scott the attitudes of young people when it comes to their job. I mean, you're there to work. You're not there to be entertained or hook up with girls and all that stuff. Yes, Carol's been sharing on Instagram and on Facebook. I love the monthly circle you have going. I've been watching that progress all year long. It's been fun to see. But your stitching is beautiful. I thoroughly enjoy it. I've got too much stuff out. Last night, did y'all see Roy's comment? Or was that this morning? I think, no, that was this morning. Roy said, is it just me? Or is Mary's desk folding in on her? Because your space got smaller and smaller and smaller. It was kind of like a Alfred Hitchcock where the wall closes in. I thought that only happened at my house. A live show will find you down into the tiniest corners. All right, I'm only going to trim half of this envelope because that's all I need. And I'll stick the other half in the hole. Oh, Sue's had to go. Bye, Suze. Ugh, bill paying. Ugh. Has to be done, but nobody likes to do it. Oh, there goes my phone. Joanne's told me, you only have to spend $25 more to get a reward. I'm like, geez. I actually think they said I'd get a $10 reward this time instead of a $5, which I thought was different. I'm not sure what that's all about. Maybe it means I'm spending too much money in there lately. Quite honestly, you guys, I have a lifetime supply of all of that stuff. I just don't need to be going, oh, I get to sit down now. No more working with that. But first thing I need to do is get rid of all of these notifications so I can see what you guys are talking about. There we go. Gina, I love you, and I'll watch your thing later. Close that. Has anybody else noticed that when you go live on YouTube, they've changed back to where you can turn your monitor on without having to go into the editor again? Whew, I was so glad to see that. And I was so worried yesterday's live was not going to go live because it kept telling me we're not able to complete that task. And I was so worried that it wouldn't show, but Mary told me that it was showing and it would be fine. So I waited. It worked out. It's just, I hate when I get messages like that because then I start freaking out that it's not going to save it after I've gone to all the time to, be on live and do all this stuff. So do I have everybody's address that won a journal at the beginning of this? And I need to change Nettie's to Kathy because she said to send it to Kathy. So now I've got Debbie Vignola. Is she on Facebook, Debbie? If not, I hope she emails me. I have everybody else's. Oh, Karen Merritt says she's going to email me. And I have Sue's address. So I think I have everybody else's. Yeah, I still had to turn it on, but I didn't have to go back through editor to do it. They had it in a little window that said, did you get my email address, Debbie? Can you email me your address? If not, I'll put it in again. These will go out. These will go out this weekend, probably Friday. Because see, I can weigh them and everything here at the house and print off my postage. All right, now let's put them together. So we got manila folder, which I think I want the manila folder first. And then we've got, this is the sketch paper. This is the mixed media paper. And I'll put the graph paper between those two, the manila folder, and the lined paper. So I'll pick one of these up and I'll just put one inside and one inside and one inside and one inside. And then we'll put another manila. One of my cousins used to say vanilla folders. And then we'll grab one of these bad boys. Hi, Susan Hiles. How are you? And I'm glad I laminated these covers because that's going to be so cool. And I'll do this again. So if you missed winning one this time, I'll make some more. But there's room in here. You could add a little bit. But, you know, as you decorate pages and stuff, they always get fatter. So that's one done. To do one where the lines on the, you know, the writing paper would be the right way, it would have to be a short little fat journal, I think. I wonder if I should put a note in to remind y'all what kind of papers are in here. Because there's like regular notebook, there's sketch paper, there's the manila envelopes, there's graph paper, and then there's mixed media paper. But you should be able to tell which ones by the texture. The mixed media paper will be very dense. It's very, very thick. And that's the paper that you can put wet mediums on. I mean, you can use like glue stick stuff on the notebook paper and such, but I think these will be a nice little thing to get in the mail. Aren't they cool? I'm so glad I did these. I've been wanting to use those covers for over a year. They moved back from Greenville with us. That's how long I've had those. So we'll get these put together. And then I think I'll sign off. But before I sign off, I want to show you something that I've started. Not that any of us needs yet another project. I am doing, uh-oh, there's two folded together there. I am doing Nano Jomo with Packer dye, and I'm doing Pattern Mood 2021. Their Instagram, well, Packer dye's on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. She started a group just for Nano Jomo. If you wanted to join in that fun, and she's doing those prompts. But the other one, the Pattern Mood, is an Instagram challenge, and the girl that's running it, her screen name is The Moon and the Maker. And when you look up The Moon and the Maker, you'll see her actual name, because it just won't stick in my brain. I don't know why. It just won't stay there. I looked at it again this morning before I came on here. All right, Karen. That's awesome. I think when you do these rubber band type journals, it makes it neat so that you can, like, if you want to reuse the cover, it's so easy to just reuse the cover. Like if you finish the pages, but you want to keep that cover, you could move your pages to something else and then put fresh paper in it. I think that's what I really like about this type of journal. And I'm going to keep my eyes open for posters when I'm out thrifting too, because they make really nice journal covers and you can laminate them. If you're going to do that though, do your scoring before you laminate. I think it makes a world of difference. Just keep that in mind if you decide to do this. If you're a thrifter like me and you find, you know, something like these, if you do those score marks, it folds so much easier once it's laminated. I don't know that you'd be able to get the score in through the lamination. Does that make sense? Hi, Vanessa. You had an early day today to pick up your granddaughter. They start lining up to pick their kids up at 1 o'clock here, and then the line comes all the way out from the school to the street. It's crazy. When Greg went to public school, we lived not far, and I would just walk up and we'd walk home because I didn't want to deal with the car line. But now the school's not in the neighborhood anymore. That's all torn down. And they've got this huge school out by the extension. Times change. The neighborhood schools seem to be a thing of the past, at least in this city. Sorry, guys. I'm getting a dry throat from talking so much. Guess it's a good time for me to sign off as soon as I get these done. We have 4 more to go. And it was nice to see Sue's pop in too. That's another one I haven't seen. Hi, Gina, that I have not seen in any of our lives is Judy Umfleet. I know Barb Filion's been busy putting up produce up in Canada. And Gina's back in here. And it's nice to see new faces popping in and the old faces popping in too. I've just spent all this time making journals from thrifted items. And I will mail out the journals to those that want them. And thank them for being the early birds. Early birds get the birds. Ha, 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 ha. I'm funny. Anyway. Now, I do hear from Judy on Facebook. She comments on my pictures and stuff, but I have not seen her in the live chats. So I will do a part 2 to the exploding canvas, but not today. I think I need to go get something to eat. And actually, I need to look and see what I'm going to cook for dinner tonight. Because before you know it, Scott will be home. I have not rounded the pages, but they are inside the book, so I'm not going to worry about it. But this is easy enough to do. And if you wanted to, if you have family members that journal, or you want to send something out to a fellow crafter or somebody you think would enjoy a journal, these are easy enough to make. And they do make great Christmas gifts. Just saying. And everything was a thrifted or recycled type situation. So the covers are made out of posters I bought at the thrift store. And all of this papers has come from Goodwills, different visits, different cities, different states. This stuff's come from all over the place. Mary's having leftover pizza. We finished off the vegetable soup I made over the weekend, so I don't have any of that to eat. I'm sure there's something in there. There's a couple things that are past their eat by date that I need to take the time to go through and pitch in the trash. All right, so that's one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 journals. All that. So I want to thank everybody for being here. It took us 2 hours to make 10 journals. 2 hours to make 10 journals. So see there, you can make journals. And I want to thank everybody that was here early and won a journal. And next time, maybe I'll make some more and we'll have some newcomers or early birds that'll win them next time. Or if somebody won one, they could put in somebody's name if they're the first ones here and we're doing journal making, and I'll just do it that way. Yeah, Scott gets sick of the vegetable soup after several days, so I have to take about a month break in between it. Doggone, Gina, coffee and clothes. You'd think it wouldn't matter. You're on the internet. All right, guys. And welcome, Darlene. I didn't see you. And Joan Bell, hello. It's so good to see you pop back up. All right. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go get your lunch. I'm starving. And if you are available tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., we will be in Ann Lahr's Art Hangout. It's her little group on Facebook. And she opens a room at 10 o'clock. And there's like 6 or 7, sometimes 8 people will pop in and out. You do not have to stay for the whole time because a lot of times we're on there all day together. But you can come in and say hi and introduce yourself so we can put a face to a name and that sort of stuff. So look up Ann Lahr's Art Hangout. I don't have a link handy or I'd throw it in real quick. But we start at 10 o'clock, and last Thursday, Ann and Mary and I think we signed off at 6 p.m. So bye, guys.